started 33 years ago with a candle lighting on the front porch of what was this building was formerly known as the Bealo Mansion. A small group was in attendance, but it was so inspiring to see how the excitement and energy surrounding it. We started the luncheon, and we are pleased to have you here today. So thank you all for joining us. And now I want to recognize our partners of the Allied Bar Associations who partner with us in bringing you this Justice Award and luncheon today. The J.O. Turner Legal Association is, again, President Candace Walter. If you could please stand, and the members of J.O. Turner who are here present today. Association, President Berenice Medellin, Crucian Hero. If the members of the HBA would please stand and recognize you as well. And then also we have the Dallas Asian American Bar Association under the leadership of President Ashley Yen. If those members who are here would please stand. We also want to recognize and thank our additional local bar associations for their support. When I call you, those members please stand. Under the leadership of President Chelsea Hilliard, the Dallas Women Lawyers Association, if you, those members would please stand. The Dallas Association of Women Lawyers under the leadership of President Stephen Pushka, those members of the AYO. Oh, sorry, but I don't know this one. My apologies. Please say. Thank you. And the Dallas LGBT Bar Association with President Thomas McMillan. With those members, please stand so that we may recognize you. And we also have our distinguished guests who are here with us. Ms. Bobby Edmonds and Mr. Mike High School. If you could please stand and be recognized.
media personality Lady Jade, Rand Stagen, the CEO of Stagen Leadership Academy, and Mavericks legend Rolando Blackman. At its core, this event, founded by the late Don McCleary, is about celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. While the entertainment and distinguished guests were wonderful, the true stars of the day were the finalists, whose powerful speeches left us inspired and hopeful for the future. What began as over 100 submissions were narrowed down to 8 extraordinary finalists. 4th and 5th graders from Dallas ISD schools. Each of them delivered original, thought-provoking speeches answering the question, what would Dr. King tell us about our responsibility as citizens and leaders in America today? I'm thrilled to share that Dr. King's dream is alive and well in 2025, reflected in the passion and wisdom of these young voices. Among them, none shone brighter than our winner, Dion Harris, a 4th grader from JP Stark's Math, Science, and Technology background. Your grade in school got most of the applause there, so I'll say it again. He's a 4th grader from JP Stark's Math, Science, and Technology vanguard. So today, Dion is joined by his parents, Shangela and Dion Harris Sr. And now we'll give Dion full attention as he shares his eloquent, award-winning speech. Unlike you, Dion, I didn't memorize mine, so looking forward to hearing yours. Please join me in welcoming the winner of Foley's 33rd Annual MLK Oratory Competition, Dion Harris.
Good afternoon. My name is Dion Harris, and I am a 4th grade student at JP Stark's Math, Science, and Technology. Dr. Martin Luther King was a famous preacher, influential leader, and great one who left his legacy of love to the world. He sacrificed his time, family, and his life in the quest for equality. He left us many examples of how to live peacefully with our brothers and sisters and what it means to be happy. The problem is, we're not following in his footsteps. So what would Dr. King tell us about our responsibility as citizens and leaders in America today? I believe as he looks at our society, his heart would grieve. Not just because of the state of America, but because of the condition of America's heart. I think Dr. King would tell us that America is experiencing heart failure. You see, the heart is the main organ of our system. It is a muscle with a network of blood vessels that pumps blood and oxygen throughout the body and keeps us alive. The heart is vital for our existence, but it doesn't work alone. It has arteries and veins to deliver blood to the rest of the body so that it can function. But when the heart is damaged, it doesn't work properly. It brings serious consequences. It becomes disease, weakens the body, and shortens our lifespan. This to America too. Heartlessness has no place in our society. It cuts off the arteries of justice, narrowing the walls of peace. It makes us inconsiderate and insensitive to others people's feelings and needs, and cripples our vision of becoming a strong nation with good moral values. Dr. King argued that people must have both, a tough mind and a tender heart, to move toward freedom and justice. He also said, a tough mind without a tender heart is cold and detached, and that a hard-hearted person only loves themselves and has no genuine compassion. I agree. It takes too much negative energy to remain uncompassionate, unemotional, unfeeling, and unsympathetic. This is unconstitutional because it results in cloudy thinking, slows down progress, and causes America to have a dangerously low pulse and irregular heartbeat. I think Dr. King would say to us that America is experiencing heart failure. Seek emergency attention now, because tomorrow might be too late. Immediate actions and critical care can save all our lives. And he would be right. He would tell leaders that they have the responsibility of reversing the onset of heart failure by making recommended changes and adopting healthy legislation. But there are mandatory steps that must be followed. First, we must recognize the symptoms by examining our attitudes, beliefs, and laws. Next, be willing to make any necessary changes that rehabilitate our thinking and actions to achieve justice for all. Finally, we must be committed to surgically removing any policy or law that cuts off the blood flow of equality and justice. This will start an electric charge to America's life, restoring health and a normal life, so that we can all live a healthier and happier life. I am Dion Thomas, and I approve this message.
And now, the opposite end of the spectrum, on the book end of today's occasion, I am so honored to present the Justice Award, MLK Justice Award, to the Honorable L. Clifford Davis. I believe he was watching us today online, on Zoom. As many of you know, he is a spry 100 years old as of his last birthday in October. And so he he was not able to join us today physically, but because he is here in spirit and mind and heart, we are all able to be here gathered today because of everything that he did. He has worked his way, having graduated from law school. The story is so moving. He applied for law school in his home state of Arkansas, and rather than allow him to attend there, they said, we will pay to send you somewhere else to Howard Law School. Looking at the cost of living in D.C., he said, well, no, I'm not doing that, and why should I have to leave my home state rather than study law here? And so, pro se, he fought for the right to attend law school. He then graduated from law school and immediately began to work on the civil rights that we all enjoy today. He worked on the case alongside Thurgood Marshall of Brown 2, which included the words of enforcement of the desegregation that was ordered in Brown 1. The court assured them, yes, we mean desegregated with all deliberate speed. And that was because of the work that Judge Davis did. But he didn't stop there. He brought that here for us here in the Metroplex by filing cases for the desegregation of Fort Worth ISD and Mansfield ISD. Again, we all enjoy these civil rights because of the work that he did and continues to do. He still, I'm sure, if he were here today, and I did have the pleasure of speaking with him personally to tell him of this award. He had such a good word for us. And he said it did his heart good to know that he was able to change the rules of the game. So, without delay, and further ado, I present the MLK Justice Award to the Honorable L. Clifford Davis. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. We miss Judge Davis for being here, but as your illustrious president has said, he is not able to be here. I want to say, my name is Bobby Edmonds. I am one of the members of the L. Clifford Davis Legal Association, and I'm an attorney in Fort Worth, Texas. Michael High School and myself are going to present instead of Judge Davis. We always say we embrace those. Judge Davis is one that we embrace. Thank you very much for this award, the Martin Luther King Justice Award for a distinguished scholar, jurist, man, professional lawyer, and citizen who has honored the distinguished award today, Judge L. Clifford Davis. Hopefully he's listening to us. He is so humble in every way, a gentleman, a mentor. And so what we have done today, in his absence, we have gathered some tidbits to Judge Davis and some soundbite and messages that he has presented through the years. And we will show some of those. But if Judge Davis was here today, he will tell you his age, and remember it. He will say, I am 17 days. That's and he said I say that because there's history in it, and I'm proud to be a living old man. And so I want to say thank you to our young man, and Judge Davis will be so proud of you, young man, because he valued you, and you are the future. You're an example of Martin Luther King, coupled with the Honorable Judge Elder Davis. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you how we will present. We're going to present. The first little video is about 1 minute and 55 seconds, and it's going to be on mentorship and education. That was very important with Judge Davis, and Mike High School will tell you a little bit more about that. We prepared a PowerPoint. Hopefully you visited that PowerPoint and learned a lot about the life of Judge Davis. The second video is short. It's on civil responsibility, Judge Davis' own perspective of what civil responsibility is. So now, without further ado, we will have the first video, which will be on education and mentoring. Direct you to the screen, please.
I am proud of the fact that I have lived a happy life, and it has been a long life and a joyful life. I've been blessed, and regularly say, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Because education is a lifetime experience. You learn all the years of your life and expand your understanding of life all the years of your life. There's no such thing as my education is over. Your education extends throughout your life because you constantly read about the changes and advances and new ideas and new technology that's come into our society. I have the idea all of us are mentors. There are young people looking at all of us, whether we have good habits or bad habits. And we should conduct ourselves so as to indicate good living habits and joyful living habits, and make a positive contribution to the life of the community. We have a duty to work for the general welfare of the community. Every individual has that responsibility.
Video will be on civil responsibility. Judge Davis always sends a message of us as lawyers and as citizens to have a civic responsibility. So let me direct you to the screen again.
The Constitution talks about and creates what we call civil rights for individuals. But it also draws a line, responsibility for you as a citizen. And from that, I developed what I call the definition of civil responsibility. Let me share it with you. Every individual, even in the United States, has a civil responsibility individually and collectively as we work with others to treat all inhabitants of the United States with dignity, respect, and fairness, without regard to race, creed, color, age, sexual orientation, political affiliation, religious or affiliation, education, social, or any other social-economic factor.
destined for us to see and balance the scales as we go through our profession. Mike High School, would you please come to the stage? Thank you very much again for this prestigious award for the dynamic team.
Thank you, Bobby, and thank you, everyone, in particular to the Dallas Bar Association. I'm so glad to be here. I see a lot of your friends, old friends. Some of our judges have appeared in front of me on many occasions, and it's an honor and pleasure. It's also been an honor and pleasure to be in the midst of Judge Davis in my career in Tarrant County. Since I started practicing many years ago after left the U.S. Attorney's Office here, he was my mentor. He was my father figure, actually. I lost my father at a young age. And he taught me so much about this noble profession of ours. Because ours is a noble profession, and we cannot overlook that particular fact. It's hard to encapsulate what Judge Davis means for the legal profession, in particular in Texas. He began, as President Blanton told you earlier, in the civil rights desegregation movement by filing the very first desegregation case in Texas, the very first in Texas. Jackson versus Radow in the Northern District of the 4th Division desegregated the Mansfield Independent School District. It was enough for the Texas Rangers to call him. You can Google right now, or don't do it now, later, Mansfield crisis. It'll pull up the story about the courage and the dignity that Judge Davis exemplified during that time. He received death threats. He received letters addressed to him. The letter simply says, in Florida, go for Texas. And the post office delivered it to him. He was hung in effigy outside the Mansfield School District, while the police officers, the Texas Rangers, and students smiled over that effigy. So this man that we are honoring today is a historian. He's a hero. He's able to show us what we are to embrace and care for in our profession, because he has stood out in the manner in which he has performed his duties. After he filed the Jackson versus Radow suit, he filed Flax versus Potts to desegregate Fort Worth Independent School District. So he was on the forefront. He and Thurgood Marshall did so in Fort Worth, and he led the charge here in Texas, which eventually led to desegregation in the mid-60s. As Bobby indicated, he unfortunately could not be here today. He's a steel spy, old man, as we call him, instead of steel kissing. But unfortunately, the last week has helped to a turn, but he's fine. And Judge Davis' daughters provided me some context in which he would accept this award, and it reads as follows. I have stood in the gap along with Dr. Martin Luther King for desegregation against bigotry, in spite of death threats on my life and my family's life. I have fought for and continue to fight for the rule of law and civil liberties. The work is not done. We must all fight and pray. I accept this prestigious award and in a reflective posture, of my career life's work as a civil rights attorney and a criminal district court judge. I have been licensed for over 75 years, and I have fought for our civic responsibility, and I've been a community service advocate. As a testament, I stand now in the gap for equal opportunity and justice, and I thank you so much. Sincerely, L. Davis. Thank you very much.
One of the hardest things that the DBA president has to do is to select the MLK honoree to present it to the board for approval. There are so many luminaries in our metroplex, but I could not let this pass because Clifford Davis is one of those figures, if you're from this area, he was like just this light, like this legendary figure out there that we knew about. I never would I ever dream that I would have the opportunity to present an award and be in this position. And I'm only in this position because of the work that he did. The fact that he's still living at 100 years old, this is what I really want you to take away from this. So many people say that was a long time ago. Now, true enough, we don't know a lot of centennial elders still here to share the story with us, but now, because you have heard his story as a living legend, it is now during your lifetime too. So it is up to you to not let the legend die and to not let his work be in vain. Thank you so much, Bobby. Thank you so much, Mike, for those wonderful, wonderful words to really illuminate and give us the context. I've met him a couple of times, Jeff Davis a couple of times, and he is still, the mind is still sharp, and we can all hope to be like him. A couple of judges that also came in later that I need to recognize. Judge Loretta Frazier, if you would stand, please. And we board member Judge Hoffman. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for moving the schedule around. Normally, our luncheon is held on MLK Day, but given that there was the presidential inauguration that day, we wanted to give everybody opportunity to participate in this, our system of democracy. It belongs to everyone, and we should all not let that be lost on us. We all need to stay engaged and stay participatory. So thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate you being here, and we are adjourned. Thank you.